What's up, everybody? We are back at Around the Map Pod. I am your host, PJ North, and we've done it. We've reached season 2 finale here. I'm getting ready to take some time off to get married and go to Italy and do all the things. And so, yeah, man, this is our season 2 finale. We made it another season. We got a lot to talk about. But before we do that, if you're watching with us live on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate y'all. Hopefully you're digging the show. Comment, let us know in the chat that you're listening. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, don't forget to leave us a review, share with your friends, tag us on all social medias at AroundTheMatPod. That's where we post, man. We're super active on Twitter, obviously, and on Instagram, Facebook as well. So at AroundTheMatPod. We'd love to hear from you. Love to know where you're listening from, if you're digging it. And all those things. So let's kick it off. He is back once again, the elegant one, T.Y. Tyler Miller. What's up, baby?
PJ, what's going on, man? Was thinking a little bit earlier today. Thought that came across my mind as far as wrestling and news. And it's kind of strange, the world of wrestling, how much news, in fact, is out every single day.
Dude,
and it's really not, it is, but it isn't a sport. And, you kind of compare it to all the other news, you leading up to other sport seasons and trade rumors and things like that. And it's just amazing how there's so much going on from day to day and week to week in the wrestling world.
Dude, it never stops, right? It's never stops. And the crazy thing is like the amount of clickbait bullshit and podcasts that are obviously, look, I do this podcast because I enjoy it. I like talking about wrestling with my friends and hanging out and getting to know people and talking about wrestling. These other guys do it, and it's all clickbait bullshit. Dude, like, look at Coachman. This whole Jonathan Coachman thing. Did you see this right now? Triple H isn't going to be in charge in 3 years. What is Coach? Coach don't know dick all. My guy got fired from ESPN. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking bum. I'm over it, man. And then SRS and PW Insider and all these guys who think they get news and scoops, and then they immediately cuck themselves on the internet if someone famous is talking about wrestling. I just saw it. I'm so over it, man. Like, I appreciate the fandom, and you could be mad as a fan, and you could talk about the news that's happening. Fine, cool, whatever. My thing is, like, why do you have to act like you have a source or I just don't get it. It's like the news is ever happening, right? And there's just constantly, it's just always something, man. And, like, that's the crazy thing. Almost all the dirt sheets, it's like reading fiction as we're watching fiction, but that fiction almost is never correct about the other fiction. You know what I mean? It's like you're writing fan fiction. That's the best way to put it. It's like Harry Potter fan fiction, right? You're writing your own stories that people believe about something that's already fake or not real, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And something that kind of comes to my mind is, like, you have rabid fan bases for a lot of different things. You're talking sports teams. Yeah. You're talking TV shows, whether it's, a Star Trek, sure. A Star Wars, even artists, big artists. But you do not have really any type of fan base or any environment where everybody's constantly debating, over and over. And it's really all fiction stuff, like you said, and it's just kind of interesting.
Dude, it's really unique, and I think Jeff Jarrett always puts it best. It's such a unique thing. Wrestling is its own specific thing. It is unlike any other thing in the world, which is pretty crazy. Speaking of crazy, before we get into the headlines, did you see the news about Roxanne Perez having a stalker? Have you seen this?
I did see a little bit of news as far as, like, people outside of the performance center and some weird stuff like that. So I don't know if that's the same thing, but I did
there was a guy on Twitter who has, like, a countdown towards, and then posted her address and has, like, a countdown to, like, her. Yeah, dude, it's wild. Some Selena type shit. Here's my thing, man. If this is reaching anybody, if anybody's listening, they don't like you. They don't want to talk to you. They'll sign up that you are not a part of their life. You have got to relax. Stop making them your avatar on Twitter. Stop talking about them in third person. Like, you gotta stop. Y'all gotta give it a break, dog. They are not you. You are not them. They don't know you. They don't want to know you. You are just a piece of the puzzle, and they could do without. You're an extra piece of the puzzle. You're not even a piece. You don't even fit in, okay? Yeah, they gotta chill, man. It's so sad, the shit that you see online. I saw that Liv Morgan has like 2 stalkers. This whole thing with Roxanne Perez, like I said, this dude literally posted on the internet her address and then like a countdown to when he was gonna murder her. Dude's wild. The internet is like, I don't know, man. It's just crazy.
And it even kind of goes back to the Sonya Deville stuff a few years ago when somebody even like showed up to her house, and that was some really weird shit, man.
Yeah, dude, fucking weirdos, man. And same as the old adults who camp out at airports to meet wrestlers. Y'all got to give it a break, dog. Go home. Back to your mom's basement, you fucking weirdos. God, they just ruined so many. It's like, I don't even want to tell people I'm a wrestling fan because of some of that shit. You know what I mean? It's so weird. But
yeah, dude. And I know a lot of people that are just out there trying to get some autographs to go flip them to make some money. Yeah. And I get that's a hustle, but come on, man. Is it really a hustle?
It's not a hustle if no one respects you, dog.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's not really a hustle, but
yeah. And at the same time, if you're not even guaranteed an autograph, or they're probably going to look at you and be like, get the hell out of my face.
Exactly, dude.
You just wasted all that time for nothing.
It's crazy out there. All right, man, let's kick it off here with the headlines. And the first headline reads, name changes in the E. I brought this up because, as everyone knows, Mariah May has debuted in WWE at NXT. First things first, great for her. Super pumped, dude. I'm not tribalistic. I do not care where you wrestle. I don't care. If you enjoy it, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. However, I do find it super weird that WWE just has to change the name of people constantly. And I don't understand why. They let Shawn Spears come back as Shawn Spears. Now, again, maybe some people wanted to change. So maybe Ricky Starks wanted to change. We don't know, right? And that's okay. I'm not judging them if they want to make the change. That's fine. However, some of them, it feels so forced, right? So Mariah May debuts, and that's just another example. What are your thoughts on, not Mariah May necessarily first, but just like the name changes that these people go through in WWE? Do you think it's like silly, or are you like, you get it because they want to own the IP?
I kind of see both sides of it. I get WWE wanting to be the owner of everything and kind of put their own spin on something. But at the same time, if a wrestler built their name as a star somewhere else, and you're going to act like they're a star when they come in, acknowledge what they've been done and who they were.
That's the thing I don't understand. It's like, if they're a star, why are we changing their name?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and something that I kind of thought about during the whole Mariah debut, that it's kind of interesting, especially the people who are all WWE and don't see, anything AEW. It's like they had 2 AEW stars pretty much go out there and not even mention them by name. And
they did the exact same intro. They did literally the exact same thing for Ricky. It's the exact same debut.
Yeah, and they didn't even mention either of them's name and acted like it was,
which is basically how we know we're gonna. Yeah, that's how we know they're gonna change it, right? If they didn't say it. Yeah,
absolutely.
What are your thoughts on Mariah as a whole going to NXT instead of straight to the main roster? What do you feel about? How do you feel about that?
I don't know, man. I honestly think I think she would have been better off probably staying in AEW for a little bit, for at least a little while longer. I do feel like their women's division at this point seems a little bit more established, seems to have a better direction than what the WWE women's division has had, the past, I'd say 6 months to a year or so. But, I do think, if that's what she wanted to do, which, I've seen online, that's always been the goal for her, good for her. But I do think that, I think I'm interested to see, you know, how she does, to see if it might not have been, you know, of course, because everybody thinks about the Toni Storm, Mariah May feud, when you think about Mariah May.
Best feud in women's wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's going to kind of makes me wonder, like, how good did Toni possibly make Mariah look, you know, or like how good really is Mariah?
Sure.
So I'm kind of interested to see that.
Yeah, I think Mariah's a star regardless, right? I don't care if wrestlers leave one company or the other. I don't give a shit. I don't.
Yeah.
The tribal guys who are online, just like whatever. But my thing is that I don't understand why she would debut in NXT, except for WWE to treat the AEW thing that way. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
their thing is AEW is less than us, so when you come here, you have to start here. That's kind of what it feels like, right? But I would say that this is as big a get as getting Cody Rhodes. I mean, leaving AEW as a top star and going to the Fed, in my opinion, is that's Cody Rhodes. Everyone's like, oh, well, Punk. And I'm like, well, Punk quit. And Punk was being a whiny bitch, and that's fine. Whatever. But, like, Mariah did her thing. She went out on top. She did the job she was supposed to do. She was in the best feud. And then she left. That's fine. Same with Cody. Cody didn't whine. He didn't bitch. Didn't moan. Let his thing run out, and, you know, and then go. And so, like, that's why I think it's as big a get as Cody. I think she's a megastar. I think she's going to figure it out. I do think she's a top wrestler, too. She wrestled in Stardom, which I know she can go in the ring. Like, they don't just, like, let anybody show up in Stardom. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, hey, you wrestle in WWE, you can come here. That's like, oh, you have to be able to go. So I do think she'll be okay. I think NXT women's division is incredible. I don't think it's as good as AEW's. I think they're neck and neck. But I do think NXT's women's division is incredible. Jordan obviously getting called up. Julia getting called up. Roxanne getting called up. Stephanie Vaquer getting called up. They still have Zarya. They still have Sol Ruka. They still have Kalani Jordan. They have a ton of stars. Izzy Dane, like, there's a bunch of women's wrestlers that are really, really good in NXT. So I think it'll be good to see. I think she's a bigger star than Jade. So it's weird to me that Jade went to the main roster and not Mariah. But what do I know about booking wrestling? You know what I'm saying?
It's something that I just kind of thought of was I'm wondering if possibly with Penta and Ray Phoenix, I'm wondering if they maybe push them to the main roster because they feel like they don't have as much time. You know, because those guys
too. Yeah, they're older. Yeah, that makes sense. And that might be it too, man. I don't understand. Like I said, I think it's a weird get. The whole thing is kind of strange. That part of it. But again, it's like we're pulling hairs at that, or splitting hairs at that point. Exciting. All right, next headline: AEW 4 hours deep in the middle of the week, and they're doing it back to back. They're doing Dynamite and Collision back-to-back due to the NBA Finals and the NHL playoffs. Smart, I think, to a certain extent. It does give some fatigue if you're trying to watch it. I get that. That's the beauty of, like, Max and having it on demand is, like, who's really watching every show live? Like, who's really sitting down and watching everything from start to finish, realistically anyway, right? Last night, obviously, I enjoyed it. And our next topic, we'll talk a little bit about that. But, like, just AEW's 4 hours during the week. What are your thoughts on that? It's a bit of a marathon. What are your thoughts?
Man, I feel like as long as they can fill it, I feel like, it's kind of a strange, for me, it's a strange thought process to run 4 hours from 8 to midnight.
The middle of the week, I know.
Yeah, out the middle of the week.
Yeah.
And I guess it is, for some folks, I guess like kids or whatever, summer.
Yeah.
So I guess, people might be staying up a little bit later. But it's like, I don't know, man.
It's also going to the show. That's the hard part. Imagine going to the show.
I was thinking about that last night when the Collision part of it started. Yeah. I thought that was really weird how they switched.
So I did realize why they do that. They do that for library purposes and for contract specific things. So their Warner contract is they get so much content for each thing, and it's individual contracts. So Dynamite is a contract, Collision is a contract. So they split it up that way.
Yeah, but I thought last night was a pretty damn good show from most of everything that I saw. I think I made it to about 11:30, so I called most of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm anxious to see if they can do a pretty good job of pulling it off again. But I don't know, man. I feel like they could have possibly put it somewhere else.
Sure.
Maybe that wouldn't have interfered with playoffs with other sports. And
yeah, the
maybe
problem
even
is hockey and basketball are alternating days. So hockey started last night, the finals, and then tonight starts the Thunder versus the Pacers. Shout out Thunder, let's go SGA. Can't wait to get our first championship. I'm excited about it as a fan. But yeah, so they alternate days. So for the next 14 days, they're alternating. So there is nowhere. You can't really even put them on a Wednesday. But here we are.
Right.
That part of
it.
Man,
as Tony Khan, when you're trying to, I mean, of course, at the beginning of the company, you're definitely happy to get any TV deal, especially a big TV deal like TNT, CBS. But it's like, man, wouldn't you think a little bit about that, as you're signing? Like, man, they also, broadcast a lot of playoffs.
They do broadcast a lot of sports, which I think is pretty crazy too. But that's kind of the beauty of like this day and age is like, it sucks for their rating off the rip. Right. But like in reality, people are watching it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I get both sides too. I think for me, 4 hours is long during the middle of the week to watch wrestling, especially when you got to suffer through. Yeah, and not that. Look, I'm not saying that Raw and Dynamite had some shit. Sending out Action Andretti and Lio Rush to start, kill me now. I don't want to see that shit. I also don't enjoy. I love the Hurt Syndicate. They do not have a top babyface tag team to face them, though, unfortunately. Like, they don't have anybody who can compete on the mic. Sending out Speedball. I love Kevin Knight, and Kevin Knight did a good job, but he didn't do a great job, like, in my opinion, like, the promo-wise. But, like, they got to do better. Like, they don't have a babyface tag team to put over. So, like, the Hurt Syndicate should just run through everybody. And so, like, of course, there's downs during 4 hours. The same way that there's downs during Raw. The same way that there's downs during SmackDown. Like, I'm not knocking all. I'm just saying in general, it's hard to put on a 4-hour show that's perfect from top to bottom every time. You know what I mean? But I did enjoy a lot of Dynamite. Like I said last night, I'm excited for Blockbuster next week. This week was Fyter Fest next. I still don't understand that. Like, no one's going to convince me the naming thing is good. I don't think that. I don't enjoy that at all. It's like they're trying to make each weekly show something different, and I don't think that that's needed. Like, it's not Clash of the Champions where they did it quarterly. That's fine. It's like this random name thing. I don't love that. I think Grand Slam's great when they do that. I'm excited for that in 2 weeks when they do Grand Slam Mexico. That's going to be exceptional. So
I think there's really got to be a theme to it, though, man. If you're gonna be doing these shows and actually naming them and giving them specific branding,
sure.
They had Beach Blast or Beach Break in Chicago, man. Like, what the hell?
The crazy thing is they've got like 4 straight weeks of named shows, or 5 straight weeks or something like that. It's pretty crazy.
And like you said, if they did it quarterly or like made it mean something or give it a fun theme, I think it would be pretty cool and maybe draw some new eyes or some different eyes.
I definitely think they should present it differently that way. The production value adds nothing. It's kind of wasted production, in my opinion, to have it. Yeah. But I don't. Maybe there's a reason behind it. I just don't know. But yeah, that's obviously just typical stuff. I will say before we move off of AEW, I got into an argument with Fred today about. He was making a joke about WrestleMania. So he's, again, flying off the handles about WrestleMania, right? And now it's really coming to fruition. Like, that they're going to announce Vegas, I'm sure. And he's like, I hope it does ticket sales, low ticket sales, like AEW ticket sales. I was like, well, AEW is not really a good example for your punchline because they sold out. So regardless of how many tickets they sold out, like, you should have said TNA because TNA can't even sell 1,000 tickets to their pay-per-view. And it went off on this, like, long, like, we went off on a tangent. It was a whole fucking thing. And I just thought, like, I was making a joke in the sense of, like, everybody is, they think it's AEW LOL, when in reality, like, they have a $150 million TV deal for a year, like, or 3 years or whatever it is. Like, they're making money hand over fist. They sell out where they go. They have sold over 15,000 plus to All In. Like, I just don't know that. I don't think people actually get it. I think they're saying it because they think it's cool to shit on AEW. The same way, like, I make fun of WWE, but like I make fun of stuff I don't like. I don't make fun of WWE. I love wrestling, so like I watch WWE actively. There's shit that's not good, but I just don't understand how there's still people like just, and I'm using Fred as an example, but like there is so much vitriol and like tribalism on Twitter, and I just don't quite understand it. Like I really don't get it at all.
Yeah.
And it kind of comes to a head, right, with all this stuff happening because AEW is on TV constantly, and like they're doing these 4-hour things, and then there's WWE's on. You see a lot of negative news about WWE right now, and like everything's happening, like just so much going on, and I think it's like in my mind starts to spin. At any rate, the main,
like I was saying, man, if NXT had 2 AEW stars show up and their names weren't even spoken, and that was the biggest news in wrestling for at least a week or so. So I mean,
have you seen the things? It's literally AEW Dark over there in NXT.
Yeah,
Spears, Saints, Paige, Mariah. Like it's like. I don't understand. Like, how can y'all say shit about it? They all came from AEW. I don't understand the fighting there. Like, why can't we just watch it all? I don't know. Shit's weird. But that does lead me to my next point, which is the only thing that matters at All In. By God, Chapter 5, Omega versus the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. I cannot tell you how excited I am. That belt exchange, I know it's not for everyone, dude, and that's fine. This is not for everyone. This is specifically for me. I am the audience they are trying to reach right now. Kenny Omega, Kazuchika Okada, All In. For it all. I love it. Neither one of them should wrestle until then. That's kind of my thought. Last night was awesome. Omega's match was incredible too. Also, I was like, God dang. But like, what if they just neither of them wrestled? Like next week they're doing a contract signing, and then they do a couple other things. And like, what if they just never touch until then? Like, I think that would be sick. Like, I could just see this is like, I don't think people who don't watch other stuff quite get how good this is. And it's not like, oh, they were in their prime during those matches. Does not. That's how good these two are right now still. And like, I hope Dallas is ready, Arlington is ready for a 60-minute banger, 27 stars from Meltzer. Alvarez will even have to eat crow. It's just going to be, I'm excited, man. For me, this is like one of those matches where I'm like, yep, this is it. And obviously we all knew it's going to happen. That doesn't matter. That's the cool thing about wrestling. When something that we do want to see happens, that's the best shit ever. I don't know, man. I'm excited about it. What about you? What's your thoughts?
Yes, I think when they had that face-off last night on Dynamite, it was awesome. And I agree with you. I think that if they can build something up to where, neither of them are wrestling, even if they brawl a little bit in between, I think that would be okay. But, no matches, anything like that. I think they need to build segments to keep them both busy with each other, up until the pay-per-view and, really give the final payoff at the pay-per-view. And I'm kind of excited to really see like one of those Tokyo Dome style main event banger matches like here in America.
Yeah.
And just, ready for hopefully some newer fans and, to see that style of wrestling and hopefully appreciate it. Cause I mean, it's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah. I think, I just don't know if obviously the AEW fans get it. Those type of people are already watching New Japan and have seen it. But just like, man, a Rainmaker, one-winged angel. That one-winged angel he hit on Mascara Dorada last night was nuts. And I was like, shit. My hope that for Okada is that he does bring back the Rainmaker gear at All In. That's my only ask, because I do think his gear now is lame as shit. I love the jacket, but like, he used to come out dripping in gold, and his jacket was like cooler than it's like, imagine if Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Io Sky's jackets were all, because that's kind of, they all have that like themed thing. If that's like how good Okada's jacket was, I hope that he brings that back out at All In. And I don't care what anybody says, man. Let's go. This is it right here. What a great, exciting match it should be. Rainmaker versus One Winged Angel. V-Trigger versus the Money Clip.
Something big, man, I think that we didn't really even mention is they're finally combining some title belts, and we're going to get a little bit less of that. So I think that'll be awesome.
Yeah, man, I hope to God. I hope they do away with it for sure. I hope it's just the international title. So you have the world title, the international title, the TNT title, and the tag titles. That's it. That's enough. That we don't need any more. We don't need any more. We don't need the Ring of Honor ones can stay in Ring of Honor. Although that Ring of Honor TV title match was pretty good too. A lot of good shit last night, man. Now that I think about it, just like, damn, it was pretty good. Not that there's not great shit on Raw, or I'm not a mouth breather. Let's just be clear. I don't live in my mother's basement. Everybody can relax. I watch everything.
Hey, man, I don't know if this is coming up or anything, but man, WWE they're definitely riding on thin ice with me, man. You let R-Truth go.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it. I guess did we talk about it last week? We did talk about it last week, right? R-Truth getting let go or no? Did we not? I don't know.
Think so.
Okay, let's talk about it. Because I must have missed that in the head. I thought we talked. Man, my days are starting to run together. I apologize. Yeah. Let's talk about it. I mean, R-Truth. I don't think that there's a company guy more than R-Truth. I watched him in TNA. I watched him in early WWE when he was K-Quick. He's incredible talent, funny, can wrestle, all the things. I don't see why you would get rid of him. No matter what he's being paid, it's not enough. He goes out there, he'll take every pin that you need him to take. He'll do all the branding awareness that you need him to do. He is an ambassador for the company. He keeps his head clean. Like, the only time I've ever seen him do anything bad is in The Wrestler when he's doing coke. And that's in a movie when he wasn't even signed to WWE. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in reality, like, he is exactly who you want on your roster. And you get rid of him, but you keep guys like, I mean, look at the other jobbers that they have on their roster. You know what I mean? Just like, what are we doing? I don't understand the theory behind it. I do get that TKO is an investment company. They are not a wrestling company, just so everyone knows. I don't know if everybody knows that, but they're not. And they will cut people who they don't see value in. The same way they did at UFC when Endeavor. It's the same situation. So for me, the releases are not unexpected. It was unexpected that they got rid of R-Truth, though. I felt like that was weird. What say you?
Yeah, man, I completely agree with all that. And what's crazy to me is, you said TKO that they're, more than happy to release people they don't see the value in, but like within the past 2 weeks, man, this guy was one of the top selling shirts.
Was the top selling shirt, was number one, and then they pulled it. They pulled it from the site. I don't even know if they're going to fill them because it was pre-order only. So I don't even know if they're going to fill them.
Damn, yeah. See, something like that, man. It's like, it's crazy. He is somebody you can send out there for anything, whether it be to do a radio show, a talk show, go out there and put somebody over, take the L and take a pin. And I mean, really. I mean, him and Carlito, they're an entertainment company first. They're not necessarily like WWE or AEW and, a wrestling company first. And I mean, they let go of two of the best entertainers in their company, in Carlito and R-Truth. And, you look at R-Truth, it might be some silly stuff, but, it's wrestling and there's a lot of silly stuff. But,
but he always delivered everywhere else.
Yeah, and then he was involved in some of the spots that I remember very vividly, in recent time, like when he helped Carmella win the first women's Money in the Bank.
Yep.
And when he tried to tag Miz in at the Royal Rumble as if he was in a tag match. Just like funny shit like that is like so memorable. Dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, how do you let that go?
Yeah, I'm not I don't know, man. I think TK has to sign him just for fun. I think they have to. I think you got to bring him in at AEW just for the giggles, man. You got to bring him in.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And then let him have a few banger matches because the guy can. That's the other thing too. The guy can wrestle. I don't know if y'all have ever seen. He was NWA World Champion. Just to be clear, he's not some fucking schmuck. Okay, we're not talking about 24/7 titles. We're talking about the world title, the NWA World Title. Like he can. I don't know, man. That's a weird one, dude. I've also seen a lot of stuff with like supposedly the Miz removing all WWE stuff from his Twitter and all that shit. And like, I don't know if there's any truth to that, nor do I care. But like, imagine Miz not being there. Miz is the company guy. Like, he's taken every L you can hand him. I don't know, dude.
Yeah. I mean, speaking like somebody out there doing PR and doing, shows and that type of thing for WWE. I mean, that guy, the Miz, is everywhere. I mean, he's throwing out pitches for baseball. I mean, he's doing everything.
All the bullshit that you send him out to do.
Yeah, and honestly, man, it seems like there's definitely been some crazy years in WWE, but man, it definitely seems like it's more cutthroat than it's really ever been.
I would venture to guess that they are trying to get every dime they can out of it based on being an investment firm. That's how it works, right? So when an investment company buys something that they're kind of in, but they're not really in, what they do is they spend a shit ton of money on it, and then to get their return back immediately, they basically scale back resources. They'll do it on like razor thin resources, and then they'll basically soak every dime they can out of it, which is why you see sponsorships on tables, sponsorships on the mat. I just saw the Jey Uso thing where he had Slim Jim on his sleeve. I don't know if that's real or not, but that's 100%, dude, what they're doing. They will soak every penny out of every diamond that is there. They will bleed it off until it's worth absolutely nothing. And then someone may come and buy it afterwards.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, it is, I guess they might have every right to, but of course I saw something just a little while ago, and who knows if it's true or not, but I saw that TKO was wanting to possibly even restructure Roman's contract.
I don't know if that's true or not either, but how you going to restructure someone that don't show up to work?
And that's where, I do say I get it a little bit, like, hey, they're probably thinking let's pay him based on appearance because he's not there all the time.
Right.
We don't, let's not give him, this huge salary, but let's pay him based on appearances. And I'm like, man, if they're trying to cut Roman's contract, like shit is scary.
It's an interesting time, man, to be a wrestling fan. I wonder, especially us, as we're like so involved, right? So, but think about this as a kid again. So picture yourself as like a 5, 6, 8-year-old kid, like in that age range where you really became a fan, right? Do you think any of this matters to them? Like anything that happens behind the scenes at that age, because I think that's really like the telltale thing is like, do kids, which is where the money comes from in this business, do they care? If they never saw R-Truth on TV again, do you think they'll notice? Like, do you think that they noticed that Carlito's PlayStation wasn't in the background and Carlito wasn't playing during the segments for the Judgment Day this week? Like little things like that. Like, I don't know, because I don't know any kids that are super into it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, that's really where it starts to matter. Is like it'll affect their bottom line when it starts impacting people who aren't us. We're obviously fans. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna pay whatever. Our money is kind of arbitrary. What they really do is their focus is like, is our main demographic impacted by this? We don't care about the outliers. We don't care about the basement dwellers. We don't care about the podcasters. We don't care about the people on Twitter. Our main demographic, do you think they care? And I don't know any kids, so like, I don't know. But
yeah, no, I'm completely on the same page, and that's a really interesting question. And honestly, I think that, I mean, it's like kids are smarter than what a lot of people think,
right.
And I do feel like a lot of them, especially with Carlito, because he was there so often, and heavily involved with everything the Judgment Day has done for since he came back, really. So I do think there is kids out there and people in the main demographic that will notice that, like what happened to the guy with the big hair, or, the guy making all the jokes. And I think they'll notice, but I'm not really sure if they'll care.
Right.
But I do, there are some kids out there that, I'm sure Carlito or R-Truth, especially R-Truth, were their favorite wrestlers.
Right.
And they will notice, like, hey, why hasn't my favorite been on TV?
I think that matters, man. And I think that goes a long way. Like I said, I think some of that stuff is you'll start to see it impact it a little bit. And it's still a people business, right? I mean, that's what this is. This is people. There are human entertainers that are entertaining humans. You know what I mean? You can't replace R-Truth with a robot or AI. Like, that doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting to see the releases, and we'll see who else gets released as the dominoes continue to fall throughout the year, who doesn't get re-signed or released or whatever they want to call it. But I do hope that Ron the Truth Killing shows up at an AEW show. Or at least a podcast with Conrad. One of the two. You know what I mean? You gotta hit all the bases. Maybe it'll be one of those. We'll see what happens. All right. Speaking of WWE, Money in the Bank is this Saturday. Also, Worlds Collide. Before we talk about Money in the Bank, just briefly, do you have any insight into when what Worlds Collide this weekend? Do you have any thoughts about the NXT AAA show?
I really haven't been keeping up with it very much.
Sure.
I do think that it's pretty cool how, whether it's WWE or AEW, both companies have been really shedding a real bright light on Lucha Libre and luchadors. And I do think that's really cool and opening the eyes of a lot of people who might not be familiar with that. Of course,
I'm getting a ton of stuff on my feed now from WWE Mexico. Pops up. They just interviewed Mr. Iguana, which if you guys haven't seen that interview, it's hilarious. Because he's dressed like an iguana, and he has a fake iguana. He's basically Santino Morello, but Hispanic. I don't know like a better way to do it. He's got a fake iguana on his hand, like does the puppet thing, and it's like this is the same gimmick. There's no difference in this gimmick right here.
Yeah, dude, they definitely got some interesting characters. I know there's a one guy named Pagano, and he was involved.
Him and Psycho Clown are just they're gross. I can't.
Yeah, he was involved, like where they would do like hold events at like a junkyard or something down in Mexico, and like he was involved in some wild shit. And it's really crazy to see him on WWE TV now.
Yeah, if you don't watch AAA or watch CMLL, I only see the clips online. I don't watch it actively, but I love the thought of Lucha Libre. Like, I love the way that they tell stories with the masked and the history and the families and all. I love that. However, watching an actual event, the first 3 matches, you're like, this is the absolute worst shit I have ever seen on TV in my entire life. It is so bad. It's just a cluster, and there's always some guy who's 65 years old doing lucha. It's like, I don't know, dude, but there's also amazing gimmicks, dude. There's some really good ones. I'm excited to see Vikingo versus Gable. I think that'll be cool. Excited to see the triple or the 6-man tag. Someone just got replaced. I forget. Oh, Joaquin Wilde got hurt, so they replaced him with somebody, and so that should be cool too. But yeah, I'm not like the Psycho Clown and Pagano and some of those guys. That's not really my vibe. But there's a ton of guys in Mexico who are really, really good. It'll be interesting to see how NXT and that whole thing works. They obviously sent down the ringers. They're not like they're sending down their D1 athletes, the guys who don't, you know what I mean? Like, they're not sending the green guys down there. So it should be interesting, to say the very least. I'll watch that this weekend as well. But Money in the Bank, Saturday night. It's time to do some pick'em. We're going to start with the tag match. John Cena and Logan Paul versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Yeet. Who you got?
Man, I don't know. I think they'll give Cody a win on the first match back. Cody and Jey Uso. I think Logan Paul probably take the pin or submission or whatever it is. And I think it'll be probably a pretty fun match.
I think so
I don't
too.
look for it to be a clean match, of course, all the way throughout. And just kind of interested to see what goes on. Of course, that's not within the confine of the rules.
Yeah, I think Logan Paul actually pins Jey Uso, and that's how they build up a rematch.
For the title?
Yeah, for another title match between them two. And I think that'll happen at SummerSlam, unfortunately. And I think Logan Paul will probably win at SummerSlam.
Wow, man.
Yeah, what a nightmare. We have now let YouTubers win This is not Celebrity Deathmatch for those watching at home, but
yeah, but at that point, man, I'm just ready to hear what the WWE tribe says.
I know. All right, who will win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match? Solo, LA Knight, Seth Rollins, Penta, Andrade, or El Grande Americano?
Man, I'm gonna go with who I want to win, and I think I hope Americano wins, and I hope he takes the mask off, and it's Gable, of course, and then he gets a decent.
That would be
run.
Sick.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll ever win a title though.
I don't think he will either, man.
I'm gonna go Seth Rollins. I just don't see unless they're having Punk interfere, which obviously Seth interfered with Punk on Monday. So, like, maybe, but who out of those other guys is a world champion potentially guy? Like, it's not Solo. I like LA Knight a lot, but I doubt it's LA Knight. It's not Penta. It damn sure ain't Andrade. And it can't be El Grande. I can't. There's no way. I don't know, man. I pick Seth, but I don't know. It's a tough one.
How are you feeling about the Seth and CM Punk stuff, man? You think that's ran its course and gone on a little too
I wish that they'd fight. I wish they wouldn't have done the blow off, obviously, at Netflix. I think it was cool that they did it on the Netflix debut because it was the first show. I think it's still good because both of them can talk. I think that Seth. This is a weird thing to say, and I don't know if this is true or not. This is like a weird. It's almost like the Mandela effect in my brain. I don't think that CM Punk is a quarterback. I think that CM Punk ran roughshod over Ring of Honor. He was incredible. Top guy, amazing, right? The Summer of Punk, amazing. He did a lot of great things in WWE. But I think the reason he never headlined WrestleMania is because Vince never saw him as a leader. And I think that he disappears from wrestling for 7 years. Then he shows up in AEW and he gets into it with all them. And I don't know that CM Punk is a leader. And I think Seth Rollins is better than CM Punk. I don't know. And I'm not like against CM Punk. I like CM Punk, a great entrance, great wrestler, all that stuff. But like, it's been like kind of creeping in my head that like, damn, maybe Vince was right about Punk. And maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Punk obviously seems like a great guy. I'm not talking about him. I just think maybe that might be the issue. And maybe now he doesn't care as much either. Maybe that's part of it. But in my head, that's kind of come across to me recently. And I don't know. I'm obviously, like I said, I loved CM Punk and Ring of Honor. I thought it was, when I was younger, I was like, this shit's awesome. This is great. And then WWE, I wasn't watching it super actively then and then he was, he came back, but I don't know. That's kind of where my head is right there.
For me, I think Punk, of course he had, like shaved head Punk and all that stuff. I feel like, especially throughout WWE and like even AEW, I feel like Punk's character has just kind of been a continuation throughout his career. Whereas Seth Rollins, he was a part of the Shield. He was a part of the Authority. Of course, he's done stuff on his own. And, I feel like he's just continued to, like, redevelop himself, kind of similar to, like, Chris Jericho.
Whereas I think that's I think Seth's one of those guys that's going to be remembered as an all-timer.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely agree with that.
So, all right, women's Money in the Bank. Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, and Naomi. Who you got here?
I think they might give it to Alexa Bliss. I think though they really haven't done much with her since she's came back, and of course before she left, she was a huge star. Has been a star pretty much ever since she's been there. Held the title a few different times, and I think it's kind of time for them to really strap something to her and give her a direction. And a lot of the other girls in the match, I don't see
all brand new. I mean,
yeah,
Roxanne, Julia, Stephanie Vaquer all just got called up.
Yeah, and I don't think, as good as the stuff she's been doing, I don't think Naomi's going to win it. And I feel like Rhea, man, I feel like they've just kind of beat that dead horse, like they just kind of keep pushing her and keep pushing her. It's like, kind of let her die off and do something a little bit different for a little while, or maybe
I think they
her...
need a heel to win now because they have Io Sky babyface champion and Tiffany Stratton babyface champion, so they really need a heel.
Right. Yeah. So right. I think Alexa, they'll give it to Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna. I can't believe I might pick Alexa. Kill me. I don't know who I'm gonna pick on that. I for the sake of the conversation, I'm gonna actually pick Naomi.
Oh wow.
I don't know why, but like, I don't know. Like I said, they need a heel. Julia's technically a heel, but like. And so is Roxanne, but I don't think they're going to give them a title or give them a Money in the Bank already, but maybe. I guess Tiffy won hers last year, right? And she held it for a long time. So
I think with Naomi, unfortunately, the stuff with Jade going on, I think she'll come in and probably take Naomi out of the match.
See, I kind of thought that too. Is like she might come back and do that, but I wasn't 100%. I don't know, man. There's a lot going on there. Oh God, and this is the fourth. There's only 4 matches on Money in the Bank so far.
Yeah, and that's what I said a couple weeks ago, man. Are these premium live events premium anymore?
Yeah, they're house shows with stipulations. And this last one is a real dud. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Man, I'm sorry, I can't. It's not for me. I just can't. I've tried. I can't get it. I'm gonna pick Becky. There's no way they have her lose twice. There's no way. I'm picking Becky.
Yeah, Becky 100%. I will say that, man, if anything good was going to be brought out in Valkyria, I think Becky has done it. She did cut that promo in the ring the other night that I thought was decent.
Oh, see, I hated it.
Still not a huge fan, but
sure.
I'm like, okay, it was better than a lot of stuff that she's done. But yeah, I don't think they give Becky Lynch 2 L's to her.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Becky on that one. All right. Bonus question here from Miggs. Who will be the first men's superstar to walk out for the Money in the Bank match? Solo, LA Knight, Seth, Penta, Andrade, or El Grande Americano?
I think I'm gonna say Penta. I don't know why, but
I think it's either gonna be Penta or Seth, and the reason being is they need to start off the show with something everybody's gonna sing along to or like get excited about.
Yeah, cool entrance.
Yeah,
something to
the rest of them don't. I mean, LA Knight's close, but like they're not going. I don't think they'll have him come out. He would be the only other one I thought would come out first. I also forget that Solo's in this match. Damn, sorry. I forgot that Solo's even in this. We just talked about it, and I forgot that Solo was in this. I'm like, oh God. It's crazy that why do they have this and not? Why is there not 5 matches? Oh, because they have 27 minutes of fucking commercials in between each match. Fuck you, TKO, you bunch of bums. Money hungry bunch of bums.
Yeah, dude, I was watching a podcast with Stevie Richards the other day, and he was talking to his co-host and asking him, what would you prefer, a 6-hour pay-per-view with damn good wrestling, something that a lot of people would think is too long, or would you, rather go to a WWE show that's 3 or 4 hours and everything is, commercials and ads and promos and that kind of thing.
What do you pick?
Oh, I'm picking the 6-hour AEW.
Okay, just making sure. I was like, it's not that it's AEW WWE. It's the fact that I don't want to sit through commercials.
Yeah, absolutely. I can sit through commercials at home, man. I don't have to pay $400 or $500.
I didn't pay to watch the 97th time of the same replay of this feud.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That shit's annoying as hell, but what do I know about it? What do I know about live events? I don't know anything, obviously. I don't know anything. All right. Well, Money in the Bank, Saturday night. We'll see what happens. All right. It is time for the randomizer. Last question. And the random question of the week is, what are you excited about for this summer? Obviously, this is the season finale. As I mentioned at the top of the episode, we're gone for a few weeks. Get married. Then I'm going to Italy. Then I come back and I got to go work a race. So my schedule is kind of crazy for the next 4 weeks. And so we'll regroup for All In. But what are you excited about for the summer of wrestling, man, before we get into season 3?
I would say just to really see, man, I'm hoping that I'm hoping that AEW continues to gain steam. Obviously not wishing anything bad upon WWE or anything like that, but I would like to see it get, I know they're not going to catch them, but I would like to see it be a little bit of a closer battle. I would like to see, WWE start to sweat a little bit more than, what they are now, and just really heat up the competition and, bring out the best in both companies. Because at that point, the only people that are winning, the people that are winning the most, I would say, are the fans.
Hell yeah.
Wrestlers.
Hell yeah. But, wrestlers are winning too. Hell yeah.
For sure. So I'm just hoping that the competition between the two companies stays up, and like I said, fans can continue to enjoy it.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to continued shakeup at WWE, because I think that the more that they have, the more they sweat, the better it is for everybody, not just AEW, but TNA and New Japan and CMLL and AAA and everything. The better it is for us as wrestling fans, man, the more shit we get to go to and see and watch and do. We're still in a wrestling boom period, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm very excited for that. I'm excited for the shows that are obviously happening and things like that. I'm super excited to see the next phase of AEW. They've obviously had this transitional thing with the Death Riders, and they're transitioning now into the next phase. And the same with WWE. They are transitioning into this new era now of wrestlers, right? With Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and Julia and Roxanne and Jade and people getting called up and like all this stuff, they're moving to that next. It's like this, not a bookend necessarily, but like you start to see people released that you grew up on. Like I don't know that AJ Styles stays there much longer. I don't know if he's re-signed or whatever, but like when you start to see guys like that go, then you're like, damn, it's been 10 years since he's been there. He showed up in 2016, so like it's almost 10 years that he's been there. You think about that when guys start to leave. If The Miz leaves, like, damn, that's how you know we're in a different time period here of WWE.
And that's something that I'm excited for. I don't think, of course, it's going to happen, over the summer or even by the end of the year. But I really am excited to see, especially some of the male talent, who it really is going to be that next star, or the next stars, to lead both.
Yeah, because Cody's 39 years old. He ain't young. I mean, he's not. I'm 36. It's like we're not young.
And I mean, even looking to the AEW side of things, of course, Kenny's had his health issues. Kenny's not
42 years old.
He's not young. The Bucks really aren't, too young either. So I'm really excited to see, like really the next generation of stars and, see where that takes wrestling. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, excited for that. Well, thank you guys all for joining us. If you've been listening in, we do appreciate you here at the Around the Mat Pod. Man, season 2 went by quick. 19 episodes this season, but obviously had a little break in the episodes for things, life-changing events, things that are happening. But we'll be back better than ever. I'm sure I'll have a new layout I'll be excited to bring out. I'm always working on graphics and working on different production stuff that I enjoy. Cool shit that we can do. So maybe we'll have a new layout when I get back. Thank you all for joining us. Until next time, when we go around the